Hello and welcome to the HSBC Fusion live webinar. My name is Amanda Andra and I will be your host for today. Now I'm really honored and clearly excited to be hosting today's HSBC's Fusion live webinar. And on behalf of HSBC, I would like to welcome everyone to our virtual event. Now today's webinar highlights digitalization for business growth and sustainability. Are you a freelancer or a small business owner? Whichever industry you're in, today's session is sure to be a learning opportunity for all entrepreneurs and small business owners out there. Now today's webinar is a special one as we have two subject matter experts with us today. Please welcome Daler, Head of Analec Malaysia and Transact Lead at Omnicom Media Group, and also Cheah Chun, a Chartered Accountant with 15 years of working with SMEs. Now, Omnicom Media Group, or OMG, is a global media, marketing and communications company with two agencies in Malaysia, PHD and OMD. Transact is an e-commerce specialist division within OMG, and it is focused on providing end-to-end e-commerce solutions to world's leading brands. Now, Daler will be conducting our first module for today, focusing on e-commerce. Hi Daler, I'm so happy to have you with us today.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me.
Now our second speaker for today is Chun, a Chartered Accountant, member of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, FCCA, and the Malaysian Institute of Accountants, MIA. With over 15 years of working experience with SMEs, he will be sharing insights focusing on cloud accounting. Hi Chun, thank you also for joining us today.
Hi Amanda, thanks for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here today.
That's great. Now, before we move forward for our agenda today, of course, I would need to tell you some housekeeping rules. Participants' audios will be muted during the webinar. If you would like to ask a question during the webinar, which we 100% encourage for you to do, please post your questions via the Q&A tab function located at the bottom of your Zoom control panel. Now, your questions will be answered through the Q&A tab, or they will be answered by our speakers towards the end of their webinar sessions. All right, well, we do hope you'll enjoy this session. I know I will. Now I'd like to hand over this session to Daler for our first module of the day. Over to you, Daler.
Thank you, Amanda. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here today, and huge thanks to HSBC for hosting this session today. And it's really important to be participating in the growth of the local business in Malaysia. So my name is Daler. I'm from Omnicom Media Group. At OMG, we really work with different type of the brands within the Malaysian and international brands, including Danone, LG, SC Johnson, and many others. And today, I'll be really covering a couple of things within the e-commerce from our perspective. The first one, we'll go into the understanding the current landscape and the changes that has been happening in the past 1.5 to 2 years. Second, we'll really kind of like explore the e-commerce models that are more relevant to SMEs. And last section would be more towards the fundamentals for the e-commerce success. Now, e-commerce is a really huge topic and there's a lot of areas that we need to really look into. So we won't be able to cover everything that comes into e-commerce. And I hope that you will get a few takeouts out of this session today. Now, before we go into the content itself, just wanted to quickly kind of really understand the audience that we have here today with this one simple question. How many of you really started selling online, and what kind of channels and tools have you used? So just type in your answers in the chat section below in Zoom. And if you haven't started your journey yet, you can just mention saying that you're planning to start soon. So let me open the chat and see who's responding. Cool. I think we have a really good balance of the businesses that have started their journey via Shopee, using the Shopify, their own website, and a lot of us, I think, in the group here that can see that have plans to starting the e-commerce journey. And so let's kick off with the content itself. And let's start with a very simple question and understanding of really what is the e-commerce and why it matters to us now. And e-commerce is really when really a sale is transacted online. This could be a direct transaction, it could be subscription based, or it could be click and collect. So click and collect could be the ways that how you would normally purchase some things with Grab for self-collection, for example. And we have experienced a really rapid e-commerce growth in the recent years, especially in the last 2 years with the whole of the pandemic, impacting a lot of businesses, especially in Malaysia. So a lot of SMEs has been impacted by the COVID situation with the lockdowns going on, and thankfully the recent news towards more of the businesses opening up within the country. So this whole thing has really put Malaysia in a top 10 country globally when it comes to the e-commerce growth. Now looking at these numbers here, within the APAC region itself, Malaysia stands to be number two in terms of the e-commerce growth, with the 23% year-on-year growth from 2020 to 2021. And we expect this to be continued in this year towards the next year as well. Now, of course, when you look at these numbers here, China plays has a huge role when it comes to the overall revenue volumes and GMVs, gross revenues, and Malaysia's growth still makes a huge role in terms of the growth itself. So you can see that we currently have around 6 billion USD as a market itself when it comes to e-commerce, and expect it to grow further. And given this situation, brands and sellers are converging online to meet the demand and turbocharging the entire SEA marketplace ecosystem. What we have noticed as well from the reports from Shopee and other marketplaces as well, there were around 200 sellers on Shopee in 2017, and the growth has been tremendous. We have now over 23,000 sellers reported by Shopee in their quarterly results, and it means it's a huge opportunity for everyone to get into the marketplaces. And of course, the search interest has been really growing as well for the sellers related questions. And a lot of people have shown interest in really understanding how to go online, how to go into the Shopee or Lazada, like we have some participants today as well. And when we look at overall Southeast Asia, there are top tier players that are really accounting now for almost 80% of the total e-commerce GMV in the market. And these players are Shopee, Lazada, and Tokopedia, being a marketplace within the Indonesia. But Shopee and Lazada is really available across different type of markets. It also really means that while you get onto Shopee or Lazada from Malaysia, it also opens up an opportunity for you to really start your cross-border business as well. And the situation and the current landscape in Malaysia is very, very similar to what we have in Southeast Asia, having both web and mobile apps being dominated by the Shopee and Lazada, Shopee being number one in terms of the traffic share and GMV as well. But also after following these two brands, we also have players like Muda, where they also allow you and brands and also the consumers to buy and purchase and search for different type of products. It's just that the model is slightly different, and we'll cover different type of models later on as well. And part of this is really the mobile commerce, and Malaysia being the largest and the leading business when it comes to the mobile commerce itself, and mobile commerce playing a huge role within the e-commerce itself, with the growth faster than the normal e-commerce rate at 33%. And it's also estimated to hit 55% of overall e-commerce share this year. And we see year-on-year growth continues to follow. And a lot of other players as well when it comes to, for example, media or the advertising or even the e-commerce marketplace, utilize the mobile applications, for example, to really connect with the consumers. So things like, for example, the players like Facebook are largely mobile driven, including e-commerce players as well, such as Shopee and Lazada. So a lot of transactions and the communication really happens through the mobile. And thankfully to the COVID as well, a bit of good impact here as well, looking at the mobile payments, which has skyrocketed in the recent years and also the quarters. What I've noticed and seen that huge growth with 1.2 million new users in just one quarter during the pandemic, which is really great compared to the 1.3 million, the number that really took us 1 year to achieve. And this means that everybody really needs to pay attention into the allowing your consumers to go into the mobile payments as well, and allowing them to transact via the different type of the mobile wallets. And speaking of wallets, there are currently 48 non-bank e-wallet licenses available from Boost, WeChat. We also have things like GrabPay, Shopee payment systems and all that. And the whole of this really is driven by the young generations and adopted by them as well. So it's a great opportunity for us. If you have certain products or services that are targeted to the young consumers, it's essential to be aware of these trends, and also making it available for the consumers to purchase and through these mobile payments. Now that we have kind of like really quickly gone through the landscape itself, let's look at different types of the e-commerce models and also the trends that we have within the Malaysia. And when we look at it from the models perspective, we'll kind of like make it skewed towards the SMEs as well, and something that you probably are adopting now or might potentially adopt. And just a reminder as well, you can post your Q&As, your questions in the Q&A section, and we'll discuss those in the end of the session. So let's start with the different type of the e-commerce models. Now there's a lot of different models available there, depending on the business needs and the type of and the nature of the business itself. So these four are some of the models that you are able to use as an SMEs, and we'll start with the simple ones, like for example, marketplaces. We have seen some people actually commenting in the section, in the chat section, saying that they are already on Shopee or Lazada, also have their own website. So we'll talk a little bit more about the Shopee and Lazada here. Then we'll move into the brand.com, so what we call your own website. This model really allows you to create your own website and have direct-to-consumer relationship and send and customize the communication to them as well. The third one is social commerce. This is where we always had this kind of like opportunity for us to be on social media like Facebook and Instagram, and being able to really speak and connect with our consumers. And last one is the conversational commerce. We've always had this way of communicating with our customers as well through the live chats, for example, and be able to speak through the WhatsApp. But we'll cover some other parts of it, which will be, I think, a little bit more interesting as well. So let's start with the first one. I think a lot of you are familiar with the marketplaces like Shopee and Lazada. I believe probably at least half of us in this room might have probably purchased something from these shops. And when you look at it from the marketplace perspective, there are different type of brands available, and you have a couple of them on the screen as well. So the first one that I've kind of put up on top there is one of our clients, DoGrow, which is Danone's brand, sells different type of products for the kids. And also from the large brands going towards the smaller ones as well, there are also shops that sell very specific niche products, like for example durian. And it looks like I'm like really craving for the durian right now. And it's really simple and really straightforward to get into the to the marketplaces. All you need to do is really go into the Shopee and Lazada, sign up for the marketplace with your email address and phone number. Go to Seller Center section, which you'll see on top left or right section of the website or an app, and set up your shop profile. And what you're able to do next is really add your necessary details like name, description, the design of the shop as well, and also list your products. And there will be some tips on the product listings as well later on in terms of the fundamentals of it. And I think more importantly, I think what you need to think about as a business is really how do you fulfill your first orders, like arranging your shipment, packaging, and also the airware wheels. Now, if you go to the Shopee and Lazada, you will see they will have sections like Lazada University or Shopee Education Portal, whereby you can really go in deep dive into the details of this as well. And again, it's a huge topic by itself, so probably you'll need another 1 or 2 days to really go into all the specific details of it in terms of the setup, how to run your business, how to list your products, and what are the things you need to take into account when it comes to the marketplaces. And that's something I'll kind of like share some tips later on as well. But when you go into the Shopee and Lazada, the educational piece and centers, you'll be able to see all the details that will be really beneficial for you. Tons of information. So let's move on to the second one, brand.com. So again, there might be all the different type of the websites available there. Started with large brands like Domino's, being able to create a very customized website, and also more of these smaller businesses as well, like for example the flower shop available in Malaysia, that you really has very key features of e-commerce available there, and you're able to really run your business and make consumers to purchase your products. And really the way to go about this, and I think the more suitable way for the SMEs would be using some sort of website builders. I think some of you guys were mentioning in the chat section that you've already started your website leveraging Shopify, and there are different type of options available as well. Like for example, Wix, and some of the locals one as well in Malaysia, such as Easy Store or SiteGiant. And what you can do with this as well, go onto the website, visit their websites, you can connect with their chat support as well, and also set up the website very, very easily and quickly. It doesn't require any much of the development knowledge or any sort of customization. There's a lot of templates available within these stores, and you can easily set up your website here. And the second option is something to go about when you have a really more of advanced way of looking at e-commerce and building the custom-built websites. What you need to do for this is really engage with a developer or an agency who is able to really help you to build a customized website based on your needs. And when you talk about the customized website, it goes into the specific sections whereby you can have some recommendation engines or chatbots or different type of the dynamic solutions within the website itself. And you're able to build those kind of things with the developers. And two of the logos that you see on the screen, Magento and WooCommerce, really help you to enable you and developers to really to cut down the cost and also the price when it comes to development, because it's really ready-made CMS solutions that allows you to build the website in a more straightforward manner. Let's move on to the third one, which is the social commerce. So social commerce is all about how do you put up your products and different types of services on social media, such as Facebook or Instagram. Now, I personally haven't noticed a really big and large adoption, to be honest, in Malaysia yet when it comes to the social commerce. And when I've noticed different type of the brands being on the social media, it's more skewed towards the Facebook. And what we have today is really the ability to set up the shopping features within Facebook and as well as the Instagram. And you have specific section within Instagram as well, where people are able to click on your products. You can use the advertising features to promote your products as well. And when people engage with it, they can click on your products, on the links as well, and go into your store to purchase it directly. Or you can link it to the payment system straight away. So the way to get started with it is really you go to the Facebook page, set up your page itself, create a shopping catalog with your products. And the third step is really to look into ways of how you can promote your products and link it to the payment gateway, for example, or the store, and start selling. And I'll go into a bit more details when it comes to the promotion of this in the later section. And when it comes to the Instagram, it's pretty much similar process as well. So you need to really go into the setting up the account, change to business account, creating selecting your category and connecting to your Facebook business as well. The only thing is the requirement for Instagram here now is that you need to submit for approval and needs to get reviewed by the Facebook or Instagram team. And it really helps to be visible within the social media as well, to make sure that your customers are able to reach out to you and leverage your existing probably accounts that you have already within Facebook and Instagram. And the last one is all about the conversation. So a lot of brands and a lot of consumers are always kind of like use different type of the messaging applications, whether it be Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or even Telegram, which is quite popular in Malaysia as well. So when we look at it from the perspective of the e-commerce, you're able to set up your products there as well, leveraging different types of the chatbot solutions. And there are different type of ways that you can really look into this. But all you need to do is to get started with is really setting a clear objective and goals. Whether you need to have this chatbot section for your to sell your products, or to let people just discover different type of products that you have and learn about them more. So some of you might have very complicated services or products that will need to communicate the benefits of it to the consumers. So what are you able to do with different type of chatbots to have that kind of ability for you to set? The other option could be that you set up more of the Q&A or support, whereby you can also use the different type of the platforms that are able to set up the Q&A sections, and people can ask more of the frequently asked questions there and get the answers. And the third one, of course, you're able to set up and link your e-commerce there as well when people look for your products or services, and people are able to discover the products, click on the link, and purchase it through the website or any sort of the gateway. The logos that we see on the screen is the companies that you can really leverage and work with, or some of them like self-serve, like Chatfuel, for example. You're able to create the chatbots within the different type of the messengers and link them very easily. So there are some of them that requires a bit of the planning ahead and also thinking through the decision trees. It's more of the flow itself of the chatbot. But some of them are pretty straightforward. So you can go there and just start building your chatbot itself and leverage different type of features that you have in there. Now that we've kind of like covered different type of models here, what I wanted to also share is three key trends that I think that will be really relevant to the SMEs. And these trends are more really adopted from the larger organizations, but I've kind of like wanted to share for the inspiration as well, for the that could be adopted by the SMEs too. And of course, there's a lot of different type of trends are happening in the market here, but I've kind of like picked up these three to share with you today. So let's start with the first one. So while remaining visible within the marketplaces, we already have noticed that brands are really increasing their direct-to-consumer investments as well and building these direct relationships. Like, so for example, the large organizations like Nike or Unilever have built and invested a lot more into the having their own stores and allowing consumers to purchase directly from the stores. Now, the reason that it's also happening is that it allows you to have more control of your website, of the content that you want to have on the website, the way you want to manage the delivery, and also the experience of the consumers. So you can have different type of the communication within the website or off the website itself, and also leverage different type of features that you have from the website perspective. And the second one is really looking at the experience itself. So omni-channel planners are also rebalancing this functionality and also the experience itself, as shopping behavior took that unexpected turn in the last 1.5 to 2 years. And when we look at it from the physical store perspective, the visits to the stores and purchasing the products becomes really more functional, and really when you go to the stores, you just go there, get your products, and get out of the store. And whereas when we look at the online experience itself, it's really becoming more of an experiential. So when you look at the brands like IKEA, what they've done is really they've created the AR application that allows you to select the products, for example, a chair, switch on the AR functions there and put it into your living room, for example, and see how actually the chair or any different type of furniture fits your living room or the apartment. And it's really cool because it also helped not only to see and understand the product fit from the consumers, but also increase the business for IKEA. And the second one is a really good example when it comes to the makeup, for example, from Maybelline. So what I've done is that they've utilized the camera and AR features as well, where consumers can use the camera and switch it on, put in their face, and see how different type of makeup actually fits their face. So it's really creative ways of making sure that you don't have to really necessarily go into the store itself, but also engage with your customers and consumers through the online space and digitally, and also allow them to experience your products. Now, when you go to the third section, and this one is really go around the data itself. You may probably heard this the saying that data is now new oil, and with that, data really plays a huge role in creating personalized experiences with your customers. And there are kind of like a couple of examples that I've put in here, starting the first one, which is more of the personalized communication and personalized advertising. This is something that we've done for one of our clients, Volkswagen in Malaysia, using dynamic creative optimization, which allows you to change certain words that you see on the screen in the green area, and also the images, based on different types of signals we get from the consumers when they visit our website or when they interact with our ads. This really helped us to really customize our communication to the relevant consumers, to the relevant place, and they're looking for the specific showroom, for example, or an agent. And this really helped us to improve the revenue and the number of leads that we were getting from this campaign. The second one is personalized user experience, whereby you're able to customize your website or the communication that you have on the website or the elements of the website to make sure it really fits to something that people are looking for. So for example, in this case, when somebody is really looking for the suit for work, and the ad says there's 25% off a promotion for this particular product, when somebody clicks on it, goes to the website, they see the same message on your landing page. So this is what we call as well the dynamic landing pages, and it really allows you to have very similar experience to your consumers. And the importance of it is really big, because we don't want to have cases where you're looking for a product, but when you land on the website, you don't actually find the product on the website itself. So it's really critical to have that seamless experience and journey for your consumers. And the third one is more of the non-really digital based, but it's also important to keep really personalized customer experience on more of the one-on-one basis. So example here is that how a company in the States have built a really customized greetings to their customers. It's a pet shop in the United States that we're going through recently. And what they did was really send a really personalized greetings through the, for example, New Year seasons, and also used a printing of the pads of the customers and sent across to them as a gift. So it really builds that kind of relationship and the personal touch with the customer experience. So now that kind of like going through the landscape, covered different types of models, and also a couple of trends in here to really take note of as well. Let's move into the really understanding the fundamentals of e-commerce. And we're going through the multiple areas of the e-commerce itself. And I hope this will be beneficial for you. So when it comes to the e-commerce, it really gets really complex if you don't take a systematic approach. And what you see on the screen is a lot of different type of factors. We have counted more than 50 factors here. That starts with all the things like discounts, coupons, the flash sales, your ratings on your e-commerce store, the budgets you have, the images, and etc., etc. And multiply this by the number of SKUs or product listings that you have on the e-commerce store. That gives you more than 2,500 combinations for one singular store that you have for your business. And this makes it a bit really complex. So when it comes to Transact and OMG, we really look at this following our shelf framework, which goes into the multiple areas of the e-commerce. It starts with the behind the shelf. It's all about the strategy and operations. We think about how do we go into the market, what kind of communication we need to have, what kind of media do we need to use in the store itself. Then we go into the auditing the store itself. So what we call at the shelf. How your store looks like, your design, your decoration of the store, whether you have the right product listings and the description of your products. Then we talk about the to the shelf, which is more all about the media within the e-commerce environment itself. So it's really important for us to be able to capture the traffic that you already have within the marketplaces or your existing traffic that you have on your website. Then we also discuss and talk about the beyond the shelf with our clients as well. It's all about the media, which is not within the e-commerce space, but besides the e-commerce itself. They're working with different type of partners that we have at Omnicom Media Group, such as Facebook or Google and many others, and leveraging different type of solutions here. And the last one is, of course, the extended commerce, whereby we think about these different type of the innovative channels, such as the live streaming, and also the automated AI chatbots, for example. So let's go into the talking about the brilliant basics for winning in e-commerce. And it goes into, I think, the three key pillars for today. One is really being visible on digital channels. The second one, providing consumer experience the best way possible. And the third one is how do you drive virtual footfall to your stores? It's all about capturing the attention and also delivering the right message and attracting them to your store. So let's start with the first one. When you look at it from the overall trends perspective, what I've noticed, and also this is report by Google, well, last year we turned into the trusted brands as consumers for more of the control and trusted choice. In 2021, we are really ready for more choice and variety. And you see in the graph here that which shows that in 2020 we really had people. There's no gap between the searches for specific brands and generic searches. Like for example, if somebody's looking for let's say an aircon, they would not typically go into the selecting a specific brand or just search for aircon or the products that you consume on a day-to-day basis. But what we have noticed in 2021, there's the choice and the searches for the generic terms has really increased in that sense, which is a great news for SMEs because it allows you to really capture the attention and also compete with the large brands as well if you have any different type of products that you're competing with large organizations. And we need to really look into the overall approach when it comes to the when people search for you. So it all starts with the organic visibility within the Google. It's all about how do you set up your search engine optimization within your website, for example, or the marketplaces. So it's really important to have your description, the product itself being properly done in order for you to be appearing in the search results. And of course, a lot of us actually go into the price comparison websites such as iPrice and really go and compare different type of products and see which website is actually giving me the best price. And the price now plays a huge role for people and consumers to really make a decision purchasing a specific product. And also, it's really important to make sure that you appear on search results within the e-tailers, marketplaces like Shopee or Lazada. So when people are searching for you, whether it's the organic search results or a paid one where you leverage different type of the marketing solutions solutions from the search and also Shopee. So it's really important to be visible in that area as well. And also delivery partners. So when you work with different type of the partners as well, they might, if it's for example a food category and you're selling food to your customers and working for example with the companies like Happy Fresh, it's really important to have a conversation with them to make sure that you appear on the search results as well when people are looking for you. And last one, I will cover a bit more details on this one too, which is the Google Shopping ads. Leveraging the paid solutions from Google and linking this into your Shopee, for example, whereby people can search, click on your product, and directly land onto your page. And how do we get the products to perform better on search? And there are really, I think, the two key areas that we need to look into at a higher level. One is the organically focusing on the content and the brilliant basics of the content, and I'll go into the specific of this in the next slide. And the second one is really carefully investing in relevant conversion media models, whether it be search, whether it be different type of the ads that we have from other partners, and really smartly leveraging the different type of solutions. Optimizing the what we call at the shelf really to deliver business performance. One is that we need to look at the relevance optimization. So is the product really visible when people search for relevant keywords? So you need to make sure that you have specific keywords that you that might appear and people might search for in your product listing. And also experience optimization. Does your product listing deliver the best experience for the consumers? Do they see the benefits of your product? Do they see the comparison with other products? Do they see any type of video, for example, that describes your product as well? And for us to really understand on how do we really make sure that this is done properly, we need to understand how the whole of the e-shelf works. And the typical way of looking at it is an example of Shopee here, that what you have is a search bar on the top where people are able to search for your products. And this is where people really, I think, quickly make use of this function for them to really find the product fast enough. You also have this the homepage button there, which leads to the full navigation and overall shop. You also have left menu with navigation and filters that really allows you, from the overall shop perspective, to make sure that your products fit into the right categories. So it's really essential to, when you set your product listings, to make sure you select the right category, subcategory, the price range, and etc., etc. And when people click on your product listing, then they will see the product details page, right? So you have the name of your product, you have images, you have product description, ratings, and other elements of the product listing. And it's really important for you, when you look at the at your product or SKU itself, to make sure that you have all the elements. But also, more importantly, it's I think really critical to have your shop decoration. So when you set up your shop and store within the marketplace or the Lazada or Shopee, what you need to be really mindful of, that how your shop looks like, so it makes people to remember your shop, you remember your brand, and you remember your products. And what we also work with our clients as well, not only that you kind of like set up your shop decoration for once and then forget about it, but also really important of how do you change your look and feel based on activities that you do, or promotions or festive seasons. So imagine how in the physical stores that you normally have, like during the CNY, everything turns into really red gold colors. The whole shop decoration within the physical stores is really decorated in the CNY theme. And the same approach that we're thinking here as well, to make sure that your overall shop and website or the marketplace really looks towards the theme as well, and align across different types of the communications we have. And what it does as well is that it helps to improve your conversions as well. So conversions meaning the sales that you get from these marketplaces. And this number that you see, 60% improvement, is actually by Shopee as well. So we've done a comparison between shop having no decoration with the shop that has very beautiful, nice design and decoration for the brands, and it improves the campaign performance as well. So when we go into from the shop perspective into the product itself, what we really look at when it comes to the product details is really the elements of the what we call the 7 omni-channel assets, 7 OAs, and really goes into the understanding that these effective product content assets that must be implemented on the product details page in e-commerce platforms. So it really starts, as I've mentioned earlier, the search keywords. How do you have identified the specific search, and thinking through what kind of search keywords potentially the customers or consumers might search when it comes to your products, and making sure using these keywords in your product description as well, or your product name. And this leads me to the perfect names setup as well. So for your product listing, and different platforms, of, for example, like Shopee would have a specific naming convention, as we call, that you need to really set when it comes to the product name. So it starts with, for example, that you have a category, product. If you have a promotion, you need to put it in brackets, and a specific one that you can really look for in the Shopee education portal. Also taking into account the hero images, making sure that you take a photo of your images professionally and nicely, that looks good and entices people to purchase it. But also having your video assets, for example, that Shopee and Lazada allow you to upload your videos into the products, into the product listing. That allows people to really understand everything about your product and also get the right information. Next is really the product content. It's more towards the description, so leveraging different types of the elements. You can set. I'll talk a little bit more about the product content in the next slide as well. And also the section, which what we call a recommendation engine, and also the elements that you can use, the features of the shop that you can use, that typically you can have some bundles as well. So what we call the goes well with. And you can also set these kind of recommendation features within your website too. So think about what kind of product bundles they can have for your customers. And what we have noticed with our clients is really that different type of the product bundles really help to improve the average basket size, the revenue, and also the conversion rate. And this really works in multiple ways, whereby you, for example, can combine your best-selling item with not really fast-moving item together. You can create festive bundles. So, for example, we have Merdeka soon, so you can create some Merdeka promotion, Merdeka bundle for your customers, and really make use of the different type of features that you have. Of course, you need to be mindful of the legal warnings as well. If you have specific products that really makes you to highlight the legal areas of your products and services, so make sure to highlight these elements as well in your product description. And the last one, I think, one of the most important things is really making sure that your ratings and reviews are in place as well. So one, of course, it all comes based on the service that you have, your product, and whether people are getting the best service and product possible, but also incentivizing people using the tools within, let's say, Shopee, on how to incentivize them to leave a review after they purchase the product. So you can use and make use of the features like, for example, broadcast messaging, and communicate to your customers who have bought your products and ask them to leave a review. And for that, you can probably give a certain incentive as a coupon or coins, for example, for the next purchase. So when we go into the product content itself, the visibility is really important to make sure that you have prioritize specific elements of these product listing sections, so that people are able to make a decision to purchase your product. They're able to understand what your product is all about, and also to probably compare that as well. So what we have put really a snapshot of what we think what you need to prioritize first. Things like, for example, 6 feature bullets, the key benefits, claims, different type of the differentiators that you have compared to other brands or the shops. And also talk about the having the different type of the supplementary images or visually showing your benefits. So you can leverage also, like it's stated here, it's not a must, but it's recommended to have things like an e-commerce video within your product image section. So it allows people to understand the product much better than a static image that might not tell everything about your product. And of course, having different type of things like full product description, how-to content if your product is important to communicate how to use your product, and also product comparison metrics that helps to make sure that people understand your product well and also can compare it to other different type of products. So once we kind of like really established your shop, your product listing, prioritization of the different type of elements, making sure that everything is done well there, what we need to think about is how do we drive footfall to your shop? And it's the same approach of how do you attract your footfall to your physical shop. In this case, we're all talking about the digital footfall. There's certain elements that you're able to leverage on when it comes to the marketplaces. A couple of them you see on the screen. It's called on-site ads. It starts with things like keyword ads that you might have probably noticed when you search for different type of products. And you're able to see the products with this small area that says an ad, and that's a paid one. So what you can really do is go into the marketing section of your seller center, set up your specific keywords, select your products that are relevant to these keywords, set a budget and a bid that you're willing to pay for one specific click. It probably could be anywhere between the range of 5 cents to 10 cents for one click, and start promoting your products. And it's really essential, and it gives an additional exposure when people are searching for your products if you don't appear organically within those results. But you also have the shop ads as well that is followed by the search ads, whereas you're able to not only use your product listings as a result, but also use your overall store. And it's especially important when you have store-wide promotion, when somebody's searching for any sort of like generic keywords such as let's say, I don't know, durians or drinks, and you're able to really showcase your whole store. And another one is called display ads, which allows you to really appear in the content when people are browsing different types of other products within your category. So what you can do is then serve your ad with your product, and people are able to click on it and go into your store itself to purchase this product seamlessly. So this on-site ads, typically based on our experience, really works well when it comes to driving revenue and also having higher return on investment. So when you compare to these two different type of the other media channels, what we have noticed that it really gives the best results compared to any other formats. And speaking about other formats, going beyond the shelf, leveraging off-site media. So right now there are two formats available that fully is integrated with your stores and marketplaces, starting with Facebook CPAS campaigns. And CPAS campaigns is a short form for the collaborative ads. It's something that is slightly different as opposed to running your normal Facebook ads. If you're running anything right now, what it helps you to do is really integrate with your stores. So it helps you to set dynamic products as well. When somebody is interested in specific categories or the products, you're able to communicate the relevant products to them. That's one. The second thing, it enables you to get data signals from the store to the Facebook for it to optimize towards the landings on your shop, towards the adding products for people to cart, and also purchases. And it's really critical when I was talking about the data itself to make sure that this is connected well, because the whole of optimization leverages those signals, and it works really well when it's integrated. And also allows you to go into the details of understanding how your products are performing well within the Facebook, and what kind of products are working well, what kind of products are not working well, what audiences are working well, what creatives are working well, and all that kind of stuff. And also similarly, in terms of the integration, you have Google Shopping Ads, which allows you to really list your products within the search section on Google, as opposed to having that small text when you have there. This allows you to really showcase your products that you have within the shopping. And it's also integrated similarly to Facebook with your store as well, and marketplace. It allows you to get different types of signals, understanding what products work, and optimize towards the best products. And this really goes also beyond just search as well, onto different type of the assets that Google will have, such as YouTube, their Gmail, and other assets that they would own. And it really helps to drive more of the awareness, prospecting the new customers to your store, and increasing sales. And there's really one interesting case here that I've kind of picked, that really talks about the creative way of using your newsfeed. And let me just play it. It's done by KFC in another market.
In Middle East, online food delivery has quickly outpaced in-store purchases. KFC was a new entrant in this space and wanted to expand quickly to make the most of this opportunity. Our aim was to give our chicken lovers a fun and easy way to satisfy their cravings, without them having to download yet another app or changing the website. We zeroed in on Arab millennials who used to hang out here. Now they hang out here on social media. But when you get a craving while chatting on Facebook, a snap detour means you have to exit the app entirely. So what if we fixed that? KFC presents the world's first scroll-through restaurant.
Hello. Thanks for scrolling by KFC scroll-through. It's like a drive-through, but right here on your feed. Just pick on the meal you want and we'll deliver it right to your front door.
We put windows on Facebook feeds that felt just like a real drive-through, complete with menus and dedicated employees. So people could order some delicious chicken without missing a post. Once they picked a meal, they were taken directly to the meals order page. Then they could be back on Facebook in time for, well, whatever.
You're back. I thought you would be.
We opened the KFC scroll-through on social feeds, using the targeting possibilities of social and digital media to welcome people back and retarget them with news stories and special offers from the scroll-through all throughout the campaign. The scroll-through had made the internet hungry. The KFC scroll-through restaurant. We're putting chicken right in your feed.
That was great, you guys. Now let's go make some chicken.
And I really like this example whereby kind of like uses very creative way of communicating your the product to consumers, leveraging different type of the features, for example, in Facebook, and everybody uses this newsfeed. It might be a bit complicated for the small brands to kind of like do in the same way. It serves as an inspiration as well here. But you can, if you have designers in your company, or if you're working with any design agencies or creative agencies, they're able to help you create these kind of things as well. And moving on to the other formats as well. So there's tons of different types of the ways of how you can communicate your product to consumers. Really having different types of formats, like for example, shoppable video, where you have an ad of your product playing on top, but at the bottom of it you have your product listings being available that are featured in that video itself. Or you have the carousel formats or the flip formats where you're able to engage and really explore, allow people to explore your products in more details and engage with you. So you're able to do probably even games as well within these kind of formats. And also the last one is, and just to also really mention that there's no limits to the selling online. So I've talked about different types of the models, the creative ways of using the communication and marketing your products as well. So there's literally no limit. And one of this great example here that I think from Nike that leverages a very unusual way of the platform to sell their products. So let's have a look at it.
The Nike Air Max has been constantly evolving since its release in 1987. The modern-day sneakerhead goes to extraordinary lengths to stay on top of updates. But with so much content out there, Foot Locker needed a disruptive consumer experience to stand out from the noise and reinstate its place as the authority on all things Air Max. We noticed sneakerheads actively use Google Slides to communicate and share their information. So we took this platform and became the first to turn it into a media hub. Introducing the endless world of Air Max. Just like Air Max sneakers are always evolving, Google Slides platform allowed us to change the experience continually in an instant. Customers could listen to a multi-episode podcast.
It's me, DC Young Fly.
Step into the closets of sneakerheads around the globe.
I am your girl, Melissa Carnegie.
My name is Sona.
I'm Brenda Renzo.
Watch a live Air Max art battle. Vote and test their knowledge.
What's up guys, A to the bed here. We're gonna test your knowledge of Air Max with a little bit of trivia.
Be featured in a user-generated slide animation. And most importantly, purchase Air Maxes. It was so much fun, blogs wrote about it. Influencers talked about it. People shared it. During the campaign, Foot Locker sold a lot of Air Maxes, increasing the Nike Air Max revenue by 39%, even with 46% less foot traffic, and reinstated themselves as the authority of all things Air Max. There was something for everyone, and always something new. But don't take our word for it. Check it out for yourself. DiscoverYourAir.com.
Okay, so this is really a great example, I think, to just leverage the Google Docs that enables you to really communicate your products creatively and also allow people to buy that. So this brings me to the end of this session. Thanks so much for attending. Let's move into the Q&A section, and probably I won't be able to answer all of your questions and select a couple of them because of the time constraint, but we'll be happy to have a chat after the session in the future as well. So let me just open it up. Just go over the first one. What is the difference between using established e-commerce platform like Shopee, Lazada, etc., instead of develop own e-commerce website? Hope for your advice. So I think it's a really great question. So when we look at it from the perspective of the, I would say, maturity of the business when it comes to the digital or the e-commerce, what I would really recommend you to go with and start with first is the e-commerce places. And these marketplaces are really easy way to set up your business within the e-commerce and allows you to set up your store quickly, as I've mentioned earlier, to list your products and start selling to your customers. You don't really need to have any development skills here, any software engineering partners, nothing like that. So all you need is to set up your store, have a nice way of making the store looks good and your products. And I would recommend to do that first because you're able to test also the feasibility of your e-commerce business as well, whether somebody's really interested in your products, whether people are buying. And then what you can do is then really extend this towards your own website, which allows you to set up direct relationship with the customers as well, and having leverage different type of the features that websites allows you to do. You kind of covered earlier. So I hope your answers your question. How does rating a product give impact to e-commerce buzz, customer rating our product? The question from Manga. So I think it's really interesting question. And what I've noticed based on different type of the researches that other companies and we have done, rating the products really play a huge role. And if you imagine yourself in the shoes of the consumers, when you have and when you really go into the different type of the products and search for those products, what happens is that when you have two options, one that has a lot of reviews, positive reviews about your product, as opposed to the products that you don't have any reviews, which one would you go with? And I think the answer is most likely you go with the one that has reviews. So it's really, really essential to make sure that you have really positive reviews within your store, overall higher rating reviews within your product listings, and making sure that you also engage with these people who comment and leave a note within the review section. So I think this helps to really improve your overall product listing itself and your sales. I'm not sure how much more time we have left, but let me probably pick up one more question. Do you have any service provider who can do the services for doing the Facebook page and other relevant e-commerce marketing support? Please advise. Question from Zamiruddin Ahmed. Yes, we do. So at Transact, actually, we do all these services for our clients, and also extending it to the other brands as well. So feel free to reach out to me, and I'll just I don't think I've left my email on the slides, but I'll just leave in the message section below. So if I didn't have a chance to answer your questions, please feel free to email me and we can pick up the conversation further. Let me just pick up one more question, and then we'll move on probably to the next session. Okay. If no products can work with others and then affiliate commissions, which platforms is best to affiliate marketing? From Elvin, I'm not sure whether I understand the question fully, but let me try to answer it in some way. So there is a way for you to promote your products working with the affiliate marketing partners in Malaysia. There are a couple of them that are available here, such as Involve Asia or IndoLeads. You can actually work with them and promote your products if you are selling products. What they allow you to do is that they give access to a lot of different types of the publishers that feature your products. And what happens is that you only pay when there is a sale happening. So you just pay the commission to them, and you're good to go. And what happens from the other side of the world, where you are a publisher, or you have your own website, and you have a blog, for example, or you're an influencer, and use Instagram or let's say even TikTok for your for promoting and talking about different type of content. What you can do is really work with the same affiliate partners and be part of the affiliate network. So what happens is that they will give you different type of products or the offers from brands that you can feature in your blog or website or your personal Instagram page, for example, and earn a commission based on your the sales that you're driving for a specific brand or company. So it works, it's kind of a win-win situation for all the three parties, for the brands, for the publishers, and also for the affiliate marketing company. I hope answered your question. So I think that's all for now. Thank you very much for your time and being with us today. Now I'll pass it over to Amanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daler. I know it must be difficult. There are so many questions. You don't know which one to pick as well, I'm sure. Now, for those of you who have asked Daler all your questions, first of all, thank you so much for that. Now, Daler will actually try to answer them via the Q&A section. Of course, he has his email that he will drop off to you guys as well. I do also see some questions in the chat box. So if you could direct them to the Q&A section, that would be great. If you could just copy paste your questions back to the Q&A, that would be great, and not put it in the chat box, because we may actually lose it when more and more people start commenting. All right, now that was really informational. I think I learned a lot, and I'm sure that our audience, you have learned a lot as well. Like lots of online business owners among our audiences as well. So thank you once again for your engagement, and let's keep the questions coming for our next session. I'm really excited to pass this session over to Chun, who will be bringing us through the topic of cloud accounting. Oh, over to you, Chun.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you, HSBC, for inviting me to this session today. So, why do I share with this slide and talk about navigate towards the future? What is it got to do with accounting? So, if all of you have seen this movie, which is called Minority Report by Tom Cruise, right, handsome guy, you will have known that this movie is talking about predicting the future whereby a crime takes place. Now, I'm not saying that accounting can predict this, where the crime can taking place, but the accounting is possibly helping you in order to predict the future of your business. So give you an example. When during the olden days, all we do is just do data entry, debit, credit, which is very boring stuff, right? All you do is record and then pay for your tax and see how you perform for the whole year. But now accounting has moved on and changed to a better enhancement. So what is the enhancement? Currently, it is able to give you some analytics, how your business performed for current, for the year, for the month, or for yesterday. And in future, accounting will evolve in a way that it will retrieve data online because it has internet connection, it's connected to the internet, and it's able to retrieve some information online and able to predict you what's going to happen to your business in the next 1 month, 6 months, and even 12 years. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cheah Chun. I'm the Managing Director of High Pines Training and Consultancy, and my company helps SMEs to digitalize their back office operation, to turn them from manual to automation and offline to online. So this is my background. I'm a ACCA and MIA certified, which is Chartered Accountant, and we are the largest QuickBooks online consultant in Malaysia currently, with almost 1,000 users. We have trained more than 300 accounting firms in Malaysia on cloud accounting and about 1,000 over SME businesses since the day we have started. Intuit recommended Pro Advisor in Malaysia, meaning we are the recommended advisor. And my previous experience was in KPMG as well as Hewlett Packard, and I was the IT auditor and business consultant during my times in KPMG. So let's take a look during the MCO 1.0. Since that time, what has happened? A lot of companies has moved online. Now, those who didn't, what happened today? They have either gone closed down or they are struggling at the moment. So those who have gone online, they have managed to survive. And since MCO 1.0, I've been invited to share my experience on helping these companies to turn their operations from offline to online. Right? Malaysian Institute of Accountants, even university like Asia Pacific University, and even from Exabytes. So what is digitalization? Digitalization is the use of digital technologies to change a business model and provide new revenue and value producing opportunities. It is the process of moving to a digital business. So as you can see on the left, there are tons of manual or time consuming tasks, including accounting, of course. And as you move along to automation and digitalization, there are a lot of processes being automated. So for example, if your recurring invoice you want to automate, some of the transactions can be automated as well. It is visible and makes your life easy because it is easy to monitor your business. So let's take a look on what are the challenges in business processes. Before the 90s, right, I still remember during that time, my mom is a bookkeeper and I helped her how to do accounting. Of course, I don't have the knowledge back then, and I help her to bring the ledger books, which is heavy, and carry them from the kitchen to the dining room for her to do the accounting. Those were the days you have to use pen and paper to do it. And during the 90s comes the birth of accounting system. And I still remember during that time, the most popular one is called UBS accounting system. Today, it still exists. And since year 2001, accounting using cloud accounting or online accounting software with automation, integration, and since 2014, Malaysians adopted it. Why 2014? Because of two reasons. Number one, that's the year I was shown cloud accounting system, how it works. And that's the year before GST was implemented. And people, Malaysian, was rushing on finding out which system suits them. And I still recall during 2014 and 2015, there are a lot of SMEs that I talked to. I've been running seminars about it. A lot of SMEs and Malaysians rejected this idea. Cloud accounting is not safe. Cloud accounting relies on internet. How fast can it be? But look at today's situation. All of us are stuck at home. So what is it gonna be? And we are doing business online. Whether it's e-commerce that Della has shared just now, or you want to sell certain services online, we have no choice. Last time, it's a nice to have to go into cloud accounting. Now, if you don't adopt it, you are going to suffer. So when you use on-premise or desktop solution, which is a traditional one which doesn't connect to internet, so what are the challenges? You're unable to return to office. This one everyone knows about it, right? MCO 3.0, since June until now, we are all stuck. Unable to access from home for documents and software. If you are still doing hard copy in a file that you kept in the office and your auditor asks for a document or the CEO wants to see a document, what do you need to do? You need to travel to office. But if your company is not listed as one of essential service, how are you going to do that? It means what? It means you're stuck. But what if your document is online on Google Drive or even inside the accounting system? One click of a button, you get all these documents. Access to software only limited to one person. Yes, the traditional one only installed inside your laptop. And if it's inside your accounts assistant or accountant, that's it. If they are unable to work due to certain reason, due to they resign or touch wood, COVID positive, that's it. Your company's data is inside the laptop. Bye-bye, you can't do anything. And unable to collaborate because only one person access. What if the CEO wants to see? Any opportunities to increase revenue or opportunities to reduce costs, and the CEO doesn't have all this data, what is he or she gonna do? Stuck again. So softwares will hack easily. Now, gone are the days where you can't access internet. Today you can access internet, right? So when you access to internet, there are hackers around. When hackers around, who are they targeting to? They will always target all the traditional system user. Why? Because there are zero security. And a lot of my clients who are previously using all the traditional system got hacked. As you can remember, WannaCry and Pegnia, what are the ransom? $500 that you need to pay, else your data is gone. How about the server base? $15,000. Do you want to pay it? That's times 4, about 80,000 ringgit nearly, right? Do you want to pay that? I'm sure you don't want to pay. But what is the risk? The risk is your data is gone for 7 years and you can't prove it to LHDN. So what happens? If you can't prove it, you are bound to hit a penalty or someone from LHDN. And even custom, how about GST? You can't prove it, same thing. There is a penalty and it's gonna be very heavy. So last one is don't have the latest version of software and always different from auditor or accountant. This is very common, right? So as you update your software one time, the auditor may update less frequent, and they have the lower version they can't read, so they have to update. But what if the auditor has a newer version and you can't update? So you need to constantly update and do all this administrative work, manual work, time consuming. So let's see a difference between a desktop versus cloud. In desktop, on-premise accounting software, you need to download, you need to install, you need to update, you need to upgrade. Access from the installed computer is only 1%. Low security, as users are responsible for cyber security. Last time without internet, yes, it's safe. Now, not anymore, because internet is fast. The hacker can be anywhere in the world, from Spain, from Phuket. They are just by the beach having their own coffee or mocktail and just hack you by pressing a few buttons. Right? Limited software integration. Today, the world talks about integration. API, integrate so that it's seamless. Data being pushed from one system to another. As Della has mentioned just now, e-commerce. So you want your e-commerce data to push into the accounting software so that you don't have to do manually. And there's no automation. These are all the traditional systems. But in cloud accounting software, especially the well-known one, you don't need to download, you don't need to install, there's no updates. All you have to do is continue using. And the beauty of it is you can access anywhere, anytime, whether you're at home, in office, or you are in kampong area, as long as there is internet or connected to your phone, you are able to access to it. High security, you gotta make sure that the provider has a high security. even they tell you it's cloud. So you gotta check on this, right? Easy integration with many software. This is the trend, right? Once you integrate, you are relying a lot on system and lesser on human labor. And of course, there are automation available. I will show you some example later. So what are the benefits of cloud accounting or ERP? Access anywhere, anytime, even with your mobile phone or even iPad. Automation of transaction or integration with third-party software. Reduce costs. You don't want to spend time managing server, IT staff, server room, hardware, papers, and inks. All these are time-consuming and very costly. You get the real-time information. The minute your accounts person key in right now, you can see it in your house by just logging into the system, right? Secure and reliable. Now, you must check on it, as I mentioned. Cloud accounting unique features preview. So some of the features that I mentioned are in QuickBooks Online. Now, QuickBooks Online is a software from US, and it has 5 million users worldwide. Currently in Malaysia, it's estimated to be about 5,000 SME that is using. With us currently, it's about 25%, that is 1,000 SME companies currently using. So you can do invoicing on the go, expenses capturing, just like using your phone, and take a snapshot of the, let's say, Starbucks receipt. Straight away, you key in the info, the data or figures. Inventory management, it has a basic inventory management for small business, and you can add an accountant. So you can get an accountant like myself. I'm working from home. I can provide you my my service just by having an access in the system. That's it. Simple as that. And bank feeds, it can upload CSV bank statement into the system. And now we are working on integrating HSBC Bank with QuickBooks Online. Once it's ready, all your data inside the statement is pushed inside the system automatically every single day. And you can add attachment. I love this part. Why? Because when you add all your supplier receipts, your Starbucks receipt, you name it, into the system, inside the transaction, all you have to do is click one button and you can see the supplier invoice. Right? Nowadays, everyone like to email invoice. Gone are the days that you want to print out, sign, and send. And now it's very difficult, right? If you want to do that, it's very costly because you have to engage Lalamove to send the invoice, and it's slow down, your collection is slowed down as well. But if it's in the system, everything is within a click of a button. Not only that, the auditor and tax agent also, if you give one access and train them how to use, they will just need to click one time and they can see the transactions immediately, right? Reporting, there are tons of report, whether it's service tax report, P&L, profit and loss, balance sheet, you name it, performance of your product, you name it, with ratio analysis embedded, and even pie chart and bar graph, the basic ones. Good enough for non-accountants to view. Training is available as well. There are tons of training on YouTube, or you can engage us, a Malaysian trainer, Malaysian chartered accountant trainer, to train you how to use and also how to adopt and change your process to make it digitalized. Projects, you can always manage project. So if let's say you're a renovation company or an IT developer company, you can always create a project and check whether you have made a profit or a loss in that project. And now lastly, access to mobile app. So reconciling transactions using the bank feed is very easy. Once you upload the CSV document or the bank statement, then you can auto match by itself. You can even create rule to make sure that, let's say, rental of 3,000 ringgit every month, post it as debit rental and credit bank, for example. The system can do it for you automatically by itself. Can you imagine that? It's doing the job of accounting for you partially, right? And access from browser or mobile. Mobile app, this is the beauty of having a cloud accounting software. You can look at your finances in the palm of your hand and having real-time data. So your cash flow is in your hand. Your profit and loss is in your hand, the balance sheet as well. I still remember back in 2017, an auditor asked, a client asked me to liaise with the auditor because the client doesn't know accounting, and we helped them because he need to answer some questions. So what I did is I went to the audit firm and I took my phone, which is the same phone, and opened up the profit and loss of this client and put it right in the middle of the table. And the client looks at it, the auditor looks at it, the tax agent looks at it, the company sec looks at it. And before that, the audit partner asked the staff to go and get the documents. And the staff took about 15 to 20 minutes to come back with the documents. Once the staff came back, we have already discussed everything. Why? Because the entire profit and loss and balance sheet is inside my phone and I can discuss. So imagine how much time you can save. Just a mere 20 minutes and you can save all this time. Times 5, let's say you meet 5 person a day. how much time you have saved. You can calculate for it. So the mobile app access also allow you, apart from viewing the profit and loss, you also allow you to issue quotation, issue invoice, as well as capture expenses. Now it has easy integration with open API. Some of you are IT background, you will have known. For some of the software, example, Qvinci for consolidation, StoreHub for point of sales, ZP. And before this session start, I actually spoke to another vendor on e-payment gateway, and he wants to integrate with QuickBooks Online as well. And that's a beauty, because now we don't have e-payment gateway that integrates with QuickBooks Online. So a Malaysian software integrates with QuickBooks Online and make it available to all Malaysians. How nice of that. Managing profitability of projects and branches. You can always create branches. For example, you have a few retail outlets of, let's say, F&B, right? And you can manage the profit and loss for each branches, even though it's under one Sdn Bhd. So you can see which branches is making money, which branches is making loss. Area and salesperson tracking. As you can see in location, class, and even custom field, you can customize it to include. It can be salesperson, it can be account manager, you name it. Attachment, as I mentioned, this will enhance and improve the process of auditing, tax, as well as yourself, the CEO, want to check. And email and WhatsApp invoice. Now, a lot of Malaysians prefer to WhatsApp invoice rather than email, because some of them don't like to receive email. So it has this feature that you can WhatsApp the invoice directly from the system into your WhatsApp, and immediately the client gets the invoice and you get the payment earlier. So there are more than 100 reports available inside the system that you can use. Even if GST comes back, there is a system available or reports available. But of course, now currently is sales and service tax. Auto create and email reports. Imagine you have salespeople in the company and you want to split all this group of sales or customer to this salesperson. And you want this salesperson to receive this report every week without fail. You can make the system to create a rule whereby you will automatically send a sales report to this salesperson by itself, or so long as all the data is put in, right? You can even auto create all these reports like profit and loss to the CEO, or even to the shareholder if you want, you name it. Shareholder loves this kind of software because why? It is real-time basis, and that they get the reports on time on a daily basis if they want. Migrating to cloud. So what do you need to do? First of all, most importantly is change management. Fix your mindset. I know a lot of Malaysians don't like online, hate online, but come on, look at where we are now. We are stuck at home. Gone are the days where you can travel and deliver the invoice to your customer. Today is all about a click of a button and your customer will receive. So first of all, change your mindset. You may not believe internet, you may not believe the safety and security, but do find out the safety and security. I have been using QuickBooks Online since 2014. So now it's about 7 years and it's marvelous. All my work is so easy. I'm at home, no problem. My team are all at home, no problem, because we adopt cloud solution all over in our company. Whether it's HR, CRM, you name it, and it makes a lot of difference. I have an office currently. I don't use the office. Is my operation got stuck? No. We are even busier. Why? Because our clients are using the system, whether it's QuickBooks Online or ERP or even an HR solution. They are busy at home doing their work and they need support from us. And we can support them from anywhere in the world. So there will be one day that I plan to migrate to, let's say, Phuket by the beach, have a house, and still do the work from there. I can do that, not an issue, because all I need is internet. Once you adopted this automation, you will never turn back, just like me. So the next one is to engage an experienced cloud accountant with knowledge in modern technology. I'm sure a lot of auditors or tax agent, accountants will tell you, cloud is not safe, online is not safe. Correct, those are the era 10 years ago. But today is totally different. So if an auditor or accountant or even your bookkeeper doesn't understand how cloud works, how safe it is, there are no way to advise you, because they know about accounting, debit, credit for sure, financial no problem. But when it comes to technology, you need to engage an accountant who are well versed in IT. And today you have a lot of them already compared to 7 years ago when I just started, right? They must be experienced in accounting, experienced in cloud accounting methodology, how it works, and able to change the process in your company, and experience in QuickBooks Online features, because they can tell you where and how to change it or change the settings. This is one of the client in fact is one of HSBC client that introduced to us. It was successfully migrated to cloud accounting just early this year, and this is company repairs and provide maintenance of installation of lifts to condominiums all around Klang Valley. Their business is not affected because everyone is stuck at home, so everyone needs to take the lift, right? So they migrated to QuickBooks Online and managed to continue to tracking financials, and we are still helping them until today. Even though have challenges in hiring the right accounting personnel, by outsource the accounting work to online accountant, they can get this service without fail. So lastly, I would like to share that disrupt or be disrupted. I've been sharing this since before the MCO, but today it has been realized. We are living in an unprecedented time where crisis occurs too frequent. Unless we change the way we work, we will continue to be disrupted and face stiff competitions not only from within the country, but also from outside the country. Next, I would like to share a very nice video for you to have a look.
Ow, it hurts that you're not using smarter tools to manage your business. You work too hard to work this hard. Collecting receipts? Is it the 80s? Does anybody have a mixtape I can borrow? You should be chasing pets, not chasing payments. QuickBooks gives you a sweet set of business tools that'll do all the hard work for you. You may groom corgis, but you don't have to work like a dog.
You earned it. We're here to make sure you get it.
Time to get yours.
QuickBooks, backing you.
Right, as Danny DeVito mentioned, you should be chasing pets, not chasing payments. Let the system do the job of chasing payments for you. Yes, QuickBooks Online is able to do that. And you, as a business owner, you should be focusing on what you do best. If you're repairing lift, repair lift. If you're a dental practice, right, be a dentist. If you're a doctor, be a doctor. If you're running a school, focus on educating the children, right? Not chasing payments. Let the system do the job for you. And lastly, our solutions are available to apply grants for you to digitalize your company's operations, whether it's accounting, HR, or ERP. And there is a 5,000 ringgit grant provided by MDEC as well as CDEC, which is the Selangor one. And you only need to pay half of what the invoice that comes from us, right? So now is the right time. Now is the best time. In fact, this kind of grant are not available before the MCO. Nothing, right? Now you have plenty of grant to adopt all this. Why is the government pushing all this? Because they know it's going to benefit Malaysian SME as well as a lot of individuals. Right, thank you for your time. I think let's move on to look at the questions. Right. Okay, so first question from Mr. Muhammad Ashraf. What are the advantages of QuickBooks compared to UBS? Yes, I used to be a UBS trainer. Sage engaged me as a trainer. Now, the first biggest advantage is you can access online anywhere, anytime. That's the biggest one. Number two, what you can do is there are a lot of automation available inside the QuickBooks Online. For example, you can automate recurring invoice, you can automate your rental charges, and then access through phone. This is what I like the most. I want to have my profit and loss available financial inside my phone so that I one click of a button, I can see the performance of my company. All right, next one. If I have two types of business, F&B and retail, can I just subscribe to one access or need two access? Now, QuickBooks Online have a few versions. One version is called Essential. It comes with 3 users only. And the next version is called Plus. It comes with 25 users. I believe 25 users is good enough for you because so far my clients, none of them has reached that. Most of them has exceeded 3, but none of them has exceeded 25, right? Because this software is for small business only. If you have grown to 100 employees, then you need to migrate to a cloud ERP instead. Now for F&B and retail, definitely you have to create 2 Sendirian Berhad. Of course, you can't have 1, right? Because tax agent will be advising you on that. How far our country's authorities recognize the genuine of the cloud accounting attachment? Will auditors be in comfort mode to only citing the attachment without physical original documents? Right, this is my favorite question. Because I'm a chartered accountant, I'm also attached with MIA. Now, MIA is still having the 57 or 67 Act, right? Companies Act, and it's very, very old. Now, we are pushing that to be change, but of course it's not easy. It will take some time, right? Now in Singapore, they have already recognized all this digital and soft copy information. So what you can do is, now there are still a lot of not a lot, some auditors who are can accept online audit, whereby they access to your QuickBooks Online, click an attachment and view the documents. Of course, for a first time auditor, they may want to see the original document, but once they are familiarized with your process, understand that you don't lie and cheat in accounting, then they are okay to look at the documents online. For example, my auditor has been auditing my companies for years online. Even now, I just complete my audited account of High Pines Training and Consultancy. I have not seen my auditor's face for the entire period. They can do it because I'm in service industry. All they need to do is audit online, done. If the accounting app got hacked, so how to retrieve those missing data? Is there a blockchain to protect your cloud accounting system? Good question. Now, if your accounting app is hacked, nothing can be done, right? You can ask the founder or the provider of the software to help you. So it's very important to ask who is the founder and what is it backing you. For QuickBooks Online, is backed by Intuit, which is an international company with 5 million businesses. They are very, very, very sensitive about security. So this software is secured by VeriSign. If you can check, is as good as a bank, and Trust ePrivacy. So you can have a check and Google about it. If that company tells you that we are confident in protecting your data, then don't have confidence, okay? So you must ask all this, what security do you have inside? And they must prove to you, they must show you some cert or whatever kind of certification available. This is very important. Does QuickBooks software have any tracking for inventory and provide alert? Yes, QuickBooks Online, it has. So whenever you set a low stock alert, like for example 10 instead of 100 whenever you buy, it will tells you inside the inventory page, alert you what stocks are low. What is the difference to engage your company versus going QuickBooks directly? Okay, biggest difference is we are Malaysians, number 1. We are accountants, number 2. We are also IT people, right? Number 3. For Intuit, they are good in what they do, but they are mostly the Intuit specialists, right? Hardly have accountants inside. And they are based in US, Australia, Philippines, right? Philippines is very big in terms of cloud accounting. So they will support you from there. So I would say they are good in QuickBooks, but they are not good in things like GST, service tax, debit credit, or some of the local regulation of Malaysia that is needed, right? If you're confident with it and you're an accountant, no problem, you can engage into it overseas. Yes, you like. But if you need a local support, a local Malaysian support who can speak English, speak BM, speak Mandarin, we can help you. Okay, next. Can QuickBooks handle multiple currency? Yes, definitely. We have 14 companies under one group. Do we need 14 QuickBooks license? Yes, you definitely need 14 QuickBooks license because there are 14, assuming it's Sdn Bhd, there are 14 Sdn Bhd. Because one QuickBooks is for one Sdn Bhd only, right? Our company is currently using SQL Desktop, but they have recently launched their cloud. Isn't it better to just change our existing system to cloud instead of migrating to another software? Now, this is a very good question as well. I used to sell SQL accounting. Now I still sell, but we stopped promoting it. Reason is SQL is born in the on-premise era, right? It's good. SQL is good, but it's in the traditional era. When you push and force that system to go to cloud, there are a lot of things not available. For example, number 1, API integration. This is the trend of integrating. Like for example, Dollar Software, WooCommerce, Shopify, you name it. All these are using API. So you need an API software to integrate. SQL, yes, it's good. Like I said, debit credit, but it lacks certain of the modern features available. So if you don't like the modern features, by all means, go SQL, no problem. It's still good. But if you prefer the online and modern way, adopt QuickBooks Online. Because now we have 1,000 SMEs in Malaysia using it. In total, there are 5,000 SME users. All right. Thank you very much for your questions. Really love to answer all these questions. And back to you, Amanda.
Thank you very, very much, Chun. I was really happy to see, just constant engagement from all our audiences. There's actually a couple of questions in the chat box that they didn't put up in the Q&A. So As you know, you have Chun Hao's email as well. You can contact him later on if you would like to have more information. And once again, thank you so much, Daler and Chun Hao, for some really good, insightful sessions. Loved the extra videos as well that you put into the slides so that we could, understand a little bit more. I learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone who joined us today feels the same. Now, once again, if your questions are yet to be answered, you can still pop in questions if you want, but do stay on because they will actually be answering questions via the Zoom Q&A function. So this is like your time to actually type in some questions in the Q&A if you want to, and Chun Hao and Daler will quickly answer them via typing them in. Now, before we end today's session, I'd like to share that with HSBC Fusion, you can manage your personal and business finances better through added personal account benefits and extra services that will help your business thrive. So with HSBC Fusion, you will also get your very own relationship manager who will assist and support your personal and business financial needs. You get better interest rates based on your personal and your business current account, and also enjoy zero online transaction fees for your business. HSBC Fusion's centralized online platform provides a simple and efficient financial management experience. It also comes with HSBC Fusion's cloud-based accounting and merchant payment solutions. As one of the world's leading international banks, you will also have access, of course, to international banking solutions in other countries and regions. With all of these, you can focus more of your time running your business and less time managing your banking needs. For more information, do visit hsbc.com.my/fusion. HSBC Fusion is also offering exclusive packages in partnership with QuickBooks Online, the cloud accounting software that would enable you to access all your accounting needs anywhere, anytime, even on your smartphones. With this cloud-based accounting software, you can collaborate with others conveniently and securely, as QuickBooks accounting data will always be safe and protected. HSBC Fusion customers can enjoy a 6-month fee waiver when you sign up for your QuickBooks accounting package. For more information, do visit highpinestc.com/QuickBooksOnline-HSBC or get in touch with our HSBC representatives. Also, a quick note for everyone before we end. There will be a feedback survey at the end of the event, and we really appreciate your thoughts on the webinar. So filling up this feedback survey is really important for us to learn and improve so that we can provide you with some informative sessions like this ones in the future. And it has been great. I really love the interaction and questions from the audience, and I do hope to see all of you once more. Thank you once again, Daler and Chun Hao, for a wonderful and knowledgeable session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone, of course, for participating in today's session. I wish you all a happy Friday and have a great weekend ahead. Take care, stay safe, and until we meet again next time, goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.